Good day everyone. So today we are tasked by Ma'am Amix to comprehensively discuss what theories are employed in the paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. So in the first two sentences of the first paragraph, it says,
Marian would smile at everything I would say to her, mostly because she did not understand me and didn't know what else to do. She had recently come from Mexico and had no formal schooling.
From this alone, it shows acquisition learning hypothesis because based on what Marian did, she only relied to what she feels right. And also she has no formal instruction with the teacher's language. So according to Russian's acquisition and learning hypothesis, acquisition and learning are two distinctive ideas. Acquisition occurs unconsciously without a formal instruction, and it only relies on the feeling of correctness. On the other hand, learning occurs through a formal instruction. For example, when I went to Bohol and then I immersed with a new culture, and then I talk to other people, especially when they use their intonations, I also have a difficulty in understanding them. And then whenever someone would just try to talk to me, I would just nod my head, pertaining that I agree, and then I would just ask my cousin, so good. And then today I realized that during those times I only used my intuition.
Marian placed her draft book down and opened up her empty resource folder as she had seen many other classmates do.
In this part, it shows social learning theory because Marian knows what to do by just observing and imitating what most of her classmates do. So, social learning theory proposes that individuals learn through observing and imitating other people's behaviors. So, for example, in today's Samgyeopsal, these famous activities. So, when we go to restaurants where we are not familiar, we try to look and observe what other people do, and then we try to imitate them, especially when we see that they are doing it correctly. Just like what Marian did, she observed and then imitate what her classmates do because she thought that what they are doing is correct.
I kindly asked her with a smile and a gesture, "Can you open your draft book to what you want to look at together?" She took a cue from my opening motion and opened to a picture of two girls by a tree and a swing.
Based on that, I can say it's affective filter theory since Marian understood what the teacher asked her because the teacher created a low filter, which motivated Marian to open her draft. When we say affective filter, these are variables like fear and nervousness, which could lack comprehensible input. So, I have also experienced, but it's somewhat different from what Marian had experienced. So, when I was in my junior high school years, I also get involved in Ram and Lark Corp. And then when I see my trainer, I always feel nervous, and then when we have practices instead of learning, I always get distracted. So that's it. Affective filter theory really has a huge impact in someone's learning experience.
I smiled and put the name Teresa above the picture of her. I then moved up to the rest of the picture. Since Marian assuming was right, I looked at the swing and said while producing a swinging motion with my arms and body, "Marian and Teresa are swinging?" She madly nodded yes and smiled. I wrote swing in the picture while saying it very slowly. I pointed to the swing and said, "This is a swing. Marian and Teresa are swinging." I took her hand and manipulated her fingers so the pointer finger stuck out and the rest curled in. With my guidance, I moved her hand across the sentences as we read, lifting her hand after each word. We did this 2 more times, and then it was her turn on her own. She read it beautifully with only a hesitation around the in at the end.
In paragraph 3, it shows input hypothesis because Marian, a second language learner, requires a comprehensible input, and that's what her teacher is doing. They are like doing a specialized reading, but it has a little difference, which is the teacher lets Marian tell something about her drawing first before writing and letting Marian repeat what she has read. Comprehensible input is an input that contains a structure that is a little beyond to the understanding of the second language learner. On paragraphs 2 and 3, I notice also social learning theory. Based on multiple encounters of Marian with her teacher, she learned a lot. According to this theory, one learns best through interacting with others. Another thing is that the factors affecting language acquisition and their personality or individual differences. From the very beginning, we already know that Marian came from Mexico, and because of that, maybe her first language is far way different to what she is learning right now, which is going to be her second language. Thus, this is a huge difference, or this is a huge factor that is affecting her learning process.